Dead Dog Saloon. Right, so I'm going to be showing off this new build that I have been using over the last couple of nights. I've seen this crow go off, so someone's down here. So this is a slugging oriented build, as you can probably tell from the knockout. And the add-ons are not so important, not anywhere near as important as you would think. But for the sake of this video, I've boosted it up with a tampered timer, so that they're more likely to die. And rule set number 2, so that they don't know where the billy boxes are until the timer's already ticking. But once again, we're not even going to get bear trap kills of this. We're not. So the plan is slug. But this isn't just any ordinary slugging. This is absolute turbo slugging. We will not pick anyone up under any circumstances unless all 4 people are on the floor. And this build is going to seem weird at first because our only gen perk is going to be Thanatophobia. I'm going to leave her. She's already got a really nice set of loops here. So I'm going to go pressure this. Oh my god, what is she doing? What is she doing? Right, so yeah, our only gen perk is going to be Thanatophobia, which you already know is not good. It's 20% at max stacks, which is pretty rubbish. But the thing is, if we have everyone slugged on the floor with knockouts so people don't know where they are, what ends up happening is that they can't heal that person to get rid of that Thanatophobia stack, which then forces them to look for that survivor, which will waste a lot of time. And if they have a bear trap on their head, which is, you know, ticking, they're gonna die for that. So this build is, it sort of forces the survivors to either let their team be slugged or die for it, because the teammates are either gonna bleed out because they're busy trying to find out where the traps are with, you know, rule set number 2, where they can't see the auras, or they go and search for their team, which they can't see because of knockout, and end up bleeding out. Cool. Didn't fall for that. Lovely. Right, back on the floor you go. She's in a much better situation now in terms of her location, at least for us. Leaving her slugged in the saloon is, you know, kind of obvious. They're going to find her there. So with this build, obviously since we don't have great gen pressure with the perks at least, what's going to happen is you'll see the first few gens pop really quickly. And with most other builds, it's GG at that point. Like, with most other builds, you see all these gens pop and you just know the game's over, you can't do anything about it. You know, it is what it is. But with this one, it's not over. You will be able to sort them out eventually if you keep slugging them. So just watch and learn. So I'm going to actually drop him off all the way over here. He's forced me to pick him up. So I'll set him somewhere ridiculous in hopes that no one finds him. We've got 4 stacks to save the best for last, and also save the best for last is a key factor in this, because if they do end up finding that slug, what you want to be able to do is re-slug them and then immediately slug the person that picked them up. So save the best for last is going to be our key to, you know, doing that. Now, of course, if we end up having to hit the obsession, that will ruin our, you know, stacks, but we should be fine. Especially if, well, in this match, we're not really, seeing the obsession. Now, the fact that they managed to find that guy, you know, all the way at the edge of the map that we dropped, that does sort of show that they're survivor friends, because no random team is gonna find that, ever. So, we're up against a survivor friends team here. As to how many there are, I don't know, but there's at least a duo queue, if not more. Someone's already got their trap off, I just realised. I think it's this girl that had it off. Cool, well, you're getting it back on, Lav. So once again, you want to immediately trap them, as always. No ifs or buts, you're not saving it for a particular time. If you have a trap, you're giving them one. And then you just leave them. That's it, you just leave them. You do not hook them until all 4 are slugged. Or if you've lost the match, then I suppose you can, you know, put someone on the hook right at the end, but ideally you just want them to bleed out. We're literally playing for bleed outs here. And I don't understand why this is so goddamn good, but I have not lost a match of this yet. This thing is working perfectly every time I got stuck on that loop, unfortunately. Oh, cool. Confused him. Right, so you can go back on the floor. Lovely. Someone's up here, I believe. I think I saw someone in the background. Yep. Alright, you are back on the floor as well, love. Generally, once we get 2 people on the floor, that's when we're chilling. Is someone else down here? I doubt that Nia's been doing this gen by herself. Yep. Never mind, they might not be survivor friends then, because we obviously just slugged that guy right next to this Kate, who was here the whole time. So I'm gonna have to break this, she's not gonna walk around from it. Cool, we got 2 people slugged, and the only person that's near, we're about to at least slug or keep them preoccupied. Probably keep them slugged though. There's a million fucking pallets here. They're not all particularly strong, but there's definitely a fucking lot of them. I think that was a life. Yeah, that's definitely a life on top of that on-hit burst. You gonna vault this? No. I need her to go on the other side of this loop. Yep, cool. I wanted to zone her. I'll do that. Where's she gone? This way. No, not this way. Scratch marks have just vanished on me. They've literally just disappeared. The scratch marks have literally just vanished. Right in front of me. Cool. Well, that's frustrating, but I think we're still fine. Yep, there's our slug down here. The thing is, with this build, you just don't need to get frustrated because it's not over like that. Like, with any other build, you lose one chase, the match is over. Like, killer, you're fucked. You've lost. Killer's, like, very, very, very stressful with other builds. But with this one, for some reason, you can just cope with it. You can just cope with how fucking ridiculous these gens are. I'm not sure if maybe I'm just getting bad survivors every single time, but I've played using this build only for hours and hours and hours, and I have not lost a match yet. I have not lost. I think that was a life just then. We just win. We just win. I think, if anything, it might be showing that maybe we waste too much time hooking people, which could end up making people value agitation a bit more at the very least from this build. But obviously we don't have agitation, but by highlighting how long we spend hooking, it might make people want to use it a bit more. And this build definitely seems to be highlighting the efficiencies we can gain from not hooking people. So they keep picking each other up, which is something that doesn't often happen. Cool, they're rage quitting as well. Cool. So they keep picking each other up, which is something that doesn't often happen. And we're still winning. We're still winning, even though they instantly get each other up. Like, in any other match, they probably would have bled out by now. But they keep picking each other up, and we're fine. This is the first time this girl's been down. Well, you can get a helmet. Right. Back on the hunt. I'm imagining you're going for the same billy box once again. Yep, you are. Okay, predictable gameplay. Back on the floor for you, love. Back on the floor for you. She doesn't see the aura. Oh, no. I don't think her trap's active, does she? I was about to say she doesn't see the auras, but there you go. Mind gamed out of that. Is God Palette even up? No, it's not. So we were fine either way. Hello, Meg. That's my obsession. I want to hit this guy, or this girl, as soon as she gets her back up. Like that. Lovely. Back on the floor. And then, assuming we can get this Meg and there's no unbreakables, we can then hook the Meg. Watch for her to 4%. There will always be a 4% of this build, by the way, boys. Lovely. That person bleeds out. We put Meg on the hook, and it's GG. Every match is like this. Every single one. I've been playing with this build for so many hours now. Non-stop. And every time, this is the same outcome. In fact, 2 gens is a rare occurrence. Every other match, there's either been 5 gens or 4 gens left. So we wait here. Wait for that 4%. And there we go. Told you there's always 4%. She may DS us, which is fine at this point. We'll give it a go. If she DSs us, it's fine. We can still get her again. But either way, cool. As I said, there is always a 4%. This build is very, very... It's repetitive. Like, every match is the same with this. Every single match is always that 4%. The outcome's always the same. I've lost my last slug, which is not something that normally happens. If they get hatched, they get hatched. I'm not too bothered, because we've had the 3 from, you know, the 2 kills and a rage quit. So, that is it. That's the build. So the add-ons, once again, I'm using a very strong combo right now. We've got Tampered Timer, which reduces the timer down from 2.5 minutes to 2 minutes on the bear traps. And rule set number 2, which means they can't see the Billy Box auras until the trap is already ticking. Hello? Did I hear something? No. It doesn't seem to be a problem using different add-ons. It's mainly the combination of just the traps in general plus this build. I originally came up with this build using Chronos Pig add-ons, which is an additional helmet and an additional Billy Box. That worked wonders. I then tried Mangled plus, I think it was blindness add-ons. That worked wonders too. And then I've just cracked on these 2 add-ons and it still works wonders. I don't think the add-ons have much of an impact. I just think this build is fucking nuts. This build is genuinely nuts. Honestly, guys, give it a go. Give it a go. I've never seen performance like this before from a killer build. I have never seen it before. This level of consistency and extreme performance is new to me. Honest to God. This is every match is the same. In fact, maybe I will, at the end of this, just include a few, you know, matches at the end of this video that don't have voiceovers, just so you can see how goddamn consistent it is, because I've recorded quite a few matches of this, and it's just always the same performance. I can't find the last slug, which is a bit of a shame. They shouldn't have crawled away. They knew the match was over. Bit of a silly decision. They're longing it out for themselves. But yeah, the only... Okay, everything makes sense here, because I've explained it, apart from Bamboozle, so I'll explain that while the match is still going. Bamboozle, as much as certain people like to meme on it, is actually good against good players. Good players are not going to fall for mind games like Shaq, for example. They can see through walls. They have so much reaction time. They're not going to fall for it. Bamboozle cuts off the really strong loops against good survivors. If you never get put against good survivors, get rid of Bamboozle. But I'd rather be safe than sorry, and with this build, I seem to, you know, I can afford the perk slot. And every single match, we win. Every single one. Anyway, guys, there's the build. Give it a go. Let me know what your performance is like. I don't know if I'm just getting bad players every single match, but it seems fairly unlikely. Even one good player should be enough to show flaws in most build because of, you know, how long chases can last, which then snowballs into how quickly gens can go. Let me know, guys. Give me your feedback. You try this build, but from my testing so far, this is the most nuts performance I have ever seen.
Don't know where to go, might lose control over every single thought of my heart and my soul. Getting rid of it apart like I do not know what isn't right, so I unroll the demon.